afternoon, everyone. Next up is the roundtable discussion for the foreign acquisition and learning course. My colleagues and I will be presenting the poster and answering the question from the Agora. The team is conformed by Morgan Ali Benítez Merlano, Eileen del Carmen Hernández, y yo, Juliet Peñalosa. This is the final activity. And, and next, I taking the word for my partner, Morgan.
What was the most valuable experience of your teaching practicing? Well, my most valuable experience is the meaning of being a leader. When I was like 18 years old, I started studying to become an English teacher. And so I know the basics, but I lack not only it phonetics, but also what is to mean to be a leader. So in 2023, in my vacations, I used to have two neighbors who I helped with some English practicing. And so I tried to be my best to act like it was a real class, like it is a real teaching, and like, for example, having already my certification. And so after I finished my Capacitar English course, I officially I started studying at UNAP. And so I remember some semesters and make me doing interviews in English with small kids. I was slowly becoming what it means to be a teacher. By my third semester, I started helping some kids and children from a small Christian cult near my home in Valledupar, although I'm living at Cincelejo right now. It was a pleasant experience because I was finally starting to understand what it is to be a leader. Um, by around my fifth semester, I was able to do um, a small observation about a school, not a cool. This one was a real deal. Finally, receiving praises because I helped some kids and translating some English words to Spanish, and they even laughed at me for my my way of teaching my skills. And so I think I was starting to understand the what it means to be a teacher, you know.
Okay, very good. And now we have Eileen.
How did your view of language education evolve during the course? During the course, my view of language acquisition shifted completely. I used to think learning English was mostly about grammar, drills, and vocabulary list repetitions. However, developing our project showed me that the emotional side of learning is just as important as learning the speaking accent and the fear of making mistakes are major barriers for young learners. Now, I understand the language acquisition happens naturally when we use gamification and thoughts like I to lower the students' effective filter and credit. I self-stress free space.
Okay. And now we have the third question, that is, which activity from the Agora poster inspired you the most and why? Well, honestly, all the projects from my classmates were very well designed and executed, and they showed great courage in presenting in English, pronouncing correctly and fluently. The tutors who facilitated this space were excellent, besides providing confidence. They allowed my classmates to express themselves without fear or embarrassment. But the activity that I found most comprehensive, well explained, and well developed was the first one presented. It perfectly reflects the advancements the world has made and how we can use technological tools to ensure our students learn holistically and addressing everyday situations and considering the challenges the world present for each student. I believe the way project was presented was visually appealing and clear, allowing for a better understanding of the idea being covered. Now we have the fourth question. What are you taking away from the Agora events as a future teacher? And my partner Morgan begins.
Well, I could take and from the Agora meeting the 5 stages of learning, which I think it will be pretty useful for a lot of people, a lot of teachers like me, because I find it pretty useful. Um, so, like for example, at the organization in planification of activities and the usage of AI for helping the development and formation of our students, um, and the fomentation of how AI isn't used for, cheating, but also for helping the students and help them to develop it better that usually with an English teacher or other teachers.
Okay,
As future teacher, the Agora event 11, my with a powerful takeaway innovation is non-negotiable. In the modern classroom, saying so many creative proposals provide that we must move away from rigid traditional methods. I am taking away who told kids of digital trends, but importantly, the commitment towards designing student-centered lesson where empathy, technology, and activity participation go hand in hand to make English accessible for everyone.
excellent. And now my opinion is first, I am wonder how concerned we are as future teachers about eliminating anxiety and fear of the English language. I think that is fantastic because practically all the presentation focus on this elimination the negative feelings that come with learning a new language. This is because we want to change the paradigm under which most of us grew up, with teachers who didn't care if we learned or how we interacted with the new language. I think it's great that we're training to change this paradigm and become the teachers we always want to be. And now we our presentation, our poster.
Compañero
Okay.
José, ¿puede un momentico silenciar el micrófono?
Sure.
Gracias. Okay, the first Agora meeting, overcoming fear and building confidence in young English learning through gamification. Authors, Eileen Hernandez, Morgan Benitez, and Juliet Peñalosa. Introduction, project overview, problem, speaking, anxiety, and fear of making mistakes prevent young learners from engaging with English traditional methods, often overlook the emotional burden and stress children face when speaking in public, and the context based on a virtual and in-person classroom. Observation, children need a safe, non-intrusive environment where technology and active participation lower their affective filter from an early age. Now, the first activity of this project is English word soup. The objective is to introduce basic English vocabulary and break the ice in a stress-free environment. Description. Students complete the interactive word search puzzles containing foundational English terms. This playful entry points builds initial familiarity and comfort before any oral production begins. The digital tools we use in this activity is Trends, EducaPlay, and gamification. And next is the AI conversation practice. The objective of this activity is to provide a private, safe space for practicing conversations and lowering speech anxiety. Description. Students engage in short, low-stake text to speak conversations with an AI about everyday topics. They later share a brief oral report with the class emphasizing communication over perfection. The digital tools is ChatGPT, artificial intelligence like Google Learner Away. This is a fantastic tool. And now, the next step.
Phonetic variation in song. Objective. To help children acquire correct pronunciation techniques naturally and easily. Description. First grade students learn the alphabet and its phonetic variations through repetitive English sounds, imitation, and context-based games, learning connectivity, neuroplasticity. Digital tools, trends, YouTube videos, EducaPlay, audio linguist method. Now, let's look at phonetic variation and sound. The main objective of this fast is to help first grade children acquire correct pronunciation, techniques naturally and easily. Under this strategy, students learn the English alphabet and its phonetic variations. Strong, repetitive English songs, imitation, and context-based games, leveraging cognitive neuroplasticity. To implement this, we use digital tools and trends like YouTube videos and EducaPlay, applying the principles of the audio-lingual method. English Escape Room Challenge. Objective: to improve speaking confidence, strong teamwork, and collaborative problem solving. Description: students work in small virtual groups to solve language clues. To include the next step, at least one student must exemplify the next word allowed in English. Digital trends, generally called gamification, collaborative learning. Next, we have the English Capital Challenge. The objective here is in improving speaking confidence, strong teamwork, and collaborative problem solving. In this activity, students work in small virtual groups to solve language clues, to unlock the next step, and complete the challenge. At least one student must exemplify to an next word aloud in English to the group. This activity utilizes digital tools like Genially and Code, incorporating current trends such as gamification and collaborative learning. Speak with fair role play. Objective: to reduce public speaking anxiety from a real-life simulation. The script in Paris, student prepare and performs 5 minutes dialogue basis and daily citation. The teacher provides positive feedback, focusing strictly and communication, reducing mistake. Digital tools, trends, Canva free communication thinking. Finally, we are really speaking with for role play. The objective of this day is produce public speaking and exit strong real-life simulation working in Paris. Students prepare and performs a 5 minute dialogue based on daily citation, such as ordering food during this activity. The teacher provides positive feedback, focuses is really on combination predicting mistake. The digital tools we tried are Canva and Flip, following the trends of communicative language sessions.
Okay, excellent, Eileen. We next with Morgan, the final the final side of the poster.
Assessment plans, methods, formative and analytical assessments, focus on continuous skill development, classroom participation, and phonetic improvement, rather than punitive grading. Rubric. Students are evaluated on oral fluency progress, confidence level, collaborative engagement, and a final group phonetic presentation. Timeline. Ongoing implementation designed to take place over a period of 1 month, culminating in a final interactive classroom exhibition. Conclusions. Summary. This project this project is innovative because it tackles the psychological and emotional barriers of language acquisition through technological trends like AI and gamification. It shifts the educational focus toward empirical form and natural learning, reduce anxiety from a young age.
Okay, Now, we have concluded this roundtable discussion. Thank you for your attention and your time, teacher and tutor and classmate.